Welcome Moon Magic Super Souls, welcome back to the channel and welcome to anyone new. Today we are asking for a key message that you need to hear right now, and also we are going to be asking if anything is to be shown to us about the next 7 days. So guidance for the next 7 days and a key message that you need to hear right now. That is the subject of our reading. I am seeing this for pile 1. We're using some beautiful cards made by an independent person. I love using cards by independent people. I'm seeing pile 2 and pile 3 here as well. So very lucky to be using these wonderful cards today. Now, the link, of course, will be with all the other cards to this person's website in the description box. Now, let's turn over the cards and we'll draw a rune and a charm for each reading as well. So, pile 1, you have the card of Elemental. Okay. This is what it looks like. So, pile 1, Elemental. Pile 2, you have the card of Sacred Journey. Okay, and pile 3, you have Wisdom. Okay, so beautiful cards. And let's draw charms and runes as well. So for pile 1, your rune and your charm, you have the rune of Aries, the spiritual warrior, or Tewaz rather, actually, I apologize, Tewaz, it's not Aries, Tewaz. And also you have this beautiful Pegasus, a flying horse. This is your charm. Okay, so I'm going to pop that there. Now, pile 2, you have the rune of Ice, Isa, and you have a hot air balloon as well. Very interesting. Okay, so Isa, ice, and or standstill is sometimes known as, and the hot air balloon. And then pile 3, you have the rune of, do you know, I can't believe this. We've got an owl sitting with an owl. You have the rune of Hagalaz. This is sometimes known as the rune of disruption, and you have an owl sitting on the owl. How amazing is that? Okay, pile 3. Okay, so beautiful souls. I'm going to leave the video running just for a little bit longer. If you need a little bit more time, thank you so much for joining me today. I really hope you're all doing really, really well. It's an absolute privilege to be reading for you. I will see you in the readings in just a moment. The timestamps are linked below and I'll put them into a comment as well, along with all the cards that I'm using today and any other links that may be helpful to you. Beautiful souls, I will see you in the readings in just a moment. Welcome, my beautiful pile 1. So we are asking for an immediate message for you. You have Elemental, the flying horse Pegasus, and Tewaz, the rune of the spiritual warrior. I'm seeing with these waves something that is actually gathering momentum. And I'm also seeing faces. Can you see these in the rocks down here, like a crocodile face? This is what it's looking like to me almost. Or a dragon energy. Something is moving forwards here. It's gathering momentum. And you may need to be quite decisive and clear-cut about how you navigate this. I feel something is going to fly. It's starting to take off in your world. But you're having to be possibly a little bit clear about kind of almost like prioritizing. I feel, deciding what you will do and what you won't do, prioritizing and scheduling your time. You may want to think about this, about what you prioritize and how you prioritize it. Alligator energy is very much about kind of rolling over and thinking about things, taking your time to before you digest something. But I am seeing something pushing forwards. Let's see what else we are shown. We'll draw some, I think we'll dive straight into some tarot cards actually for you today. So this is the Fairy Tale Tarot, this beautiful pack, absolutely beautiful pack. Let's draw. These two cards are showing. So we have the Guide of Wands and the Ten of Wands. I think we'll have one more from this pack as well. I think I want to see 3. Okay. Do you know, I'm actually seeing this one. That is the one that is speaking to me. So we have, okay, the 3 little pigs. Right, let's move this along a little bit so we've got some room. So you've got the Pied Piper of Hamlet, the Guide of Wands. You have the Ten of Wands as well, and then the 3 little pigs. Okay, which is actually in a traditional pack. This is the card of Judgment, actually. I think the first key message for you is to be very thoughtful about not being misled somewhere. Something is gathering momentum. And there are gateways opening for you. But I do feel there's an energy around you with the 3 little pigs of having to be quite savvy about how you handle something, okay? So there's a new opportunity, or something is taking off or moving forwards. Discernment means that you really have to, you know, this room really talks about cutting away the old and being very clear-cut about what you will have in your world and what you won't. I almost feel as though you might have to be letting go of certain things in order to transform or to move this ahead, to literally ride the wave, to go with the flow. Now, we're seeing a gateway open here. Now, traditionally, the Ten of Wands can be a card where it feels a bit oppressive, or there's a bit of a burden around you. And yet this card actually, in its energy, is very much about transformation. It's all about empowerment. It's about not overloading yourself and moving away from something that has previously, transforming something effectively with all these butterflies. But you are having to be savvy about how you transform it. You're having to be quite clear-cut, I think, about navigating a particular situation in your world. Okay, let's ask for more information. May we have more information? Let's get some clarity. What is this situation, and what is Pile 1 having to be a bit wise to or a bit savvy about? I am seeing this one actually. So we have the Dragonfly and Pansy balance. Okay. Let's get a chakra card too. Perseverance. Well, that's shot right out of the pack for you. And let's have another. Dragonfly. We've got Dragonfly again. Look at this. Grandmother Dragonfly holds the wisdom. I've said you've got to be quite savvy about how you handle something here. Okay. Right, perseverance is called for. I actually think that maybe what is happening is that some things are coming into your world this week that might take up or want to take up more of your time than you than you might want to give it. I think you're working on something, or you're doing something that is really important to you, and it's actually gathering momentum. What I'm seeing is some distractions coming into your week. So your key message is to stay on track and persevere, absolutely, unquestionably. I think it's possible with balance here, Dragonfly and Pansy. I think it's possible for you to navigate the distraction or the interruption with relative ease, actually, to kind of come out and be the winner. But what you need to do is to think about it and be quite clear-cut about your arrangements, not to sort of be, no wishy-washiness around this. It's kind of like if, let's say you're really full on, you get an invitation to something, you really want to go do it, and that's just totally big on your world. It's something you would love to do, but at the same time, you've got other commitments, you're working on something. Now, previously in the past, you might have sort of said yes, left your boundaries a bit wishy-washy, and then ended up somehow feeling a bit shortchanged one way or the other, whether you either ducked out on the social thing or you ducked out on work. I think it's possible to achieve a balance here. But you need to be very clear-cut about your boundaries, about how you achieve this. I almost want to say don't leave the gate open here. Actually, for something, don't leave the gate open for any manoeuvring. Like if you're going to go to something and someone's invited you, be very clear cut. I'd love to come, but actually I have to leave at X time because I have this and that and the other to do. So there's some real hard, clear boundaries. It doesn't mean you can't do it, but you've got to have some clear boundaries, because I sort of feel that there's a situation, it's either around you already or it's going to be, whereby it's sort of like that, I don't know, if you give someone an inch, they take a mile. And it doesn't necessarily feel sinister or negative. It may be for some of you that there is somebody who's just terribly needy, who if you give them an inch, they will take a mile, and that might just be their pattern and their way, in which case you're probably fully aware of it. But I think your childhood pattern is also that you concede to this quite easily, and you're needing to achieve a balance here. I don't think that it's that you don't want to give something, but I think that you also have other priorities. So this is about you being fully in charge of the way in which you navigate this. So this is the energy this week for you. Your primary key message is actually to persevere, keep going with your primary objective, your bigger project, your bigger picture, and have some distractions by all means, but be very clear cut about the time that you give to them. Let's get some more information here. Let's draw some more tarot cards actually. Maybe we ask for a bit more information about the management of this, or we'll say, what is this distraction? Can we get some information about the distraction, not just the management of it, but the actual distraction itself? Okay. Oh, we do have a distraction. We've got the Devil card. It's the only one that's actually shown itself to us, and we have this one that flew over here. Let's look at these first. We have the Devil and the King of Cups. Okay. Right. There is a big temptation coming in this week that could take you off track. Oh, it's a massive temptation. Interestingly enough, I don't think it's that you, I don't think it is particularly sinister, although it could, to be fair, for some of you, it could be just that somebody really wants your time and energy. King of Cups. It could be that you're really, really busy. You've got this major project or a deadline to meet. And then, the love of your life actually really wants your time and wants your energy and wants you to come and do something with them. Well, yes, but be boundaried because you've got a deadline to meet. This is the flavour of it. Yeah, I think there is a mega temptation for you to put something down and sort of, you could even use it as an excuse to procrastinate. What we actually have here now is the Two of Wands. Let's put these up here. Two of Wands, the Prince of Swords, the Tower, the Hermit, and the Six of Wands. Lovely. Okay, right. So what I'm seeing here is, in a way, there's a lot of energy here for you this week. There's a lot of energy for you to stay on track with something and actually to achieve something. You do have to be really, really discerning here. You do need to keep things in balance, because I sort of feel like if you don't keep in balance, you're going to end up having to sort of, it's not exactly pay it back later, but when you, it would be like taking more time off than you can really afford, and then next week you're having to work double, treble time to catch up with yourself. And the energy might not be with you next week to really thrive and really work. This week the energy is with you to go, go, go. So it's almost like it would be a wasted opportunity if you don't keep going, if you don't persevere. And yet there's a major distraction coming in here with something that you would really like. But it will pay you in the long run, truly, to be balanced about this, not surrender yourself completely to the temptation. Yeah, it would be like if you're working on a major project and suddenly, I don't know, literally, if you're single, you met the love of your life and all you can think of is being with that person. And it's all consuming to the point where you've then got to get really focused and almost back away because you haven't met your deadlines. You're then in trouble, things crash. So you can navigate this. You can navigate it with wisdom. You can navigate it with balance. You can achieve this. The key is to persevere and keep going and be ultra discerning. I think your week, though, looks incredibly exciting, pile one, actually. I think I'm just going to draw a little bit more in the way of cards around the temptation, only because it actually, in all honesty, feels like it's a really exciting temptation. And it's got that energy about it. You're sort of being told, you know, a stitch in time saves nine. That's not quite the right. It's not quite the right context, but you know what I mean. It's like, just if you persevere this week and you really keep going and you're not distracted and you keep things in check and in balance, you know, things will transform and you know, there'll be plenty of opportunity with the Six of Wands to be sharing yourself and having a, you know, more of other joyous stuff later. But right now there is a need to remain to some extent singular and focused. Let's ask about the temptation. Let's just see what we're shown. Let's use another little tarot pack. May we ask about this temptation? You've got the Devil again. Wow. You've got the Devil again. Okay, well, this is just serious temptation. Bear with me. I've just noticed this needs to be covered over for YouTube. I think a sticker has fallen off. Okay, there we go. Stickers abound. We're good. Yeah, I mean, you've got the Devil twice. Here I am asking about this and you get another one. This is amazing. Right, this is a big temptation. If you are in any way as well, if you are or have been struggling with any form of addiction or anything like that, this is really saying, look, stay on track. You know, really stay on track. Don't be tempted. Don't be drawn back into a setting where you would, I don't know, lose your boundaries around it. Truly, honestly, just check in with yourself. Prioritize yourself. Let's see what else we're shown around this temptation. Okay, so we have the Knight. I think this is a Knight, actually. Oh, we've got the Ace of Wands. How amazing. We've got the Knight of Wands. And we have the Ace of Wands. Do you know, I actually do think this is something you're going to feel really passionate about. We've got passion, we've got the Devil, we've got temptation coming in. On the reverse of the pack, actually, we've actually got the Queen of Swords. So yeah, I do think, I'm just going to bring her into our reading, actually. Again, this is, you need to be really quite clear-cut and discerning. It's going to be, I feel like this will be a big temptation. It will be a toughie, and you're going to need to really exert yourself not to go down that road. It doesn't mean you can't go down that road, but it's about moderation and balance. That's what we're seeing here, pile one. So your message is really clear. Your key message is really clear. You may already know what this is, but it feels ever so exciting. It's tempting. It's sort of something that's seductive is the word. I mean, even the Pied Piper, our first card, the Pied Piper, you know, played this magical music and the children of the village followed him. He was very charismatic, very seductive. So yeah, there's something that sort of could seduce you out of your comfort zone, well, seduce you away from your work when you actually have something quite fundamental that you're working on. And it's kind of like, you know, yeah, keep it in balance and it will be fine. Don't let the temptation rule your world to the expense of something else. That this is your message. It's ever so clear, pile one. It really, really is. Because something in your world is taking off. You're flying high. You're buzzing. Your energy is buzzing anyway. All I can say is whatever you are attracting in terms of the law of attraction, it doesn't surprise me that something passionate and amazing is coming into your world, because you're going to be a magnet for success anyway, because your energy is so amazing, and you're flying high on something. You're in a good place. You're motivated. You're rolling. Your energy is very, very, it is magnetic, charismatic. I don't know what else to say really. So of course you know people are going to be drawn to you, and if that's something that really appeals to you, it's going to be quite hard to resist. But it's really important that you approach it with balance and don't just succumb to it, because you'd lose too much otherwise, whether that is time, energy, or whatever. So yeah, take it in a balanced way. Transformation is possible here. We just have butterflies everywhere, or dragonflies rather, showing up everywhere here. And they're all about as well. Dragonflies are about seeing through the illusion. So again, something could be very tempting. My lovely pile one could be absolutely amazingly tempting, look super good on the tin, but you know, with the devil energy showing up twice, it might not be as good as it looks. In a way, you've got to go there and try it probably to find out, but you wouldn't want to commit fully at the expense of everything else, only to find out it wasn't so great. So beautiful souls, I think this is your reading, pile one. Kind of have an amazingly charismatic week, and I look forward to seeing you for some other readings hopefully really soon. Thank you so much for liking and sharing and subscribing. These things really, really do help the channel, and thank you all of you who've been going back through the super thanks, and thank you for your suggestions for readings as well, and you know, tutorials and things. You are so appreciated, beautiful souls. Thank you for being a part of the Moon Magic community. It really does feel like a family here, and I'm, you know, just seeing the way you guys respond to each other is amazing. So thank you all from the bottom of my heart for being here. Have an amazing week, pile one. Pile two, welcome to your reading, beautiful souls. It's lovely to be connected with you all. Now, the key message. I'm getting a very key message coming through for you already. So, Isa, the rune of standstill, of ice, is suggesting that something is at a standstill. It's almost like frozen in time. Now, if something isn't standing still, I think possibly you do need to stand still. You need to see something. This is coming through really clearly. Something's sort of up in the air, and it's because you need to view it. You need to see it differently. We have an owl here. We have a puma, something that's in the shadows or hidden or in the unconscious, hidden beneath the surface. It's not yet visible, and you need to see it before you're going to be able to move something forwards. You need to see it with clarity. Okay, you need the bird's eye view of it, really, the eagle. It's interesting, we've got a buzzard and we have a crow here. They often compete actually in the sky. You often see them competing with one another. The crows kind of attack the buzzards actually because they're fearful they're going to, you know, perhaps damage their nests. But it's quite interesting. Yeah, this is not a time to press forwards with something actually, beautiful souls. This is a time to stand still, observe, and get a bird's eye view. You need to see something more clearly. Literally, it's either up in the air because you need to see something more clearly, or indeed you need to make it be up in the air so that you can stand still and get a different viewpoint or a different perspective on this. Let's draw tarot cards for you straight away. Pile two. A different viewpoint, or you need to delve into the unconscious. I'm seeing these three cards coming straight out for you. What do we have? So we have the, yes, Eight of Swords. Look at this, into the depths here. We have a spider. You need to dive deep and look at something. Now, this may involve a bit of inner work for you guys. There may be something internally within you, a pattern or something that's repeating. Something needs to be addressed. We have the Six of Wands and the Child of Crystals. Okay, right, beautiful cards, actually, really beautiful cards. So the Six of Wands, I mean, look at this. It's May Day, it's springtime. So with a butterfly right at the top of the maypole. So you're going to be able to emerge, and actually you're going to be able to emerge very quickly once you see what you need to see. There's a deep dive to do. I think the answer in your situation, there's something going on around you that requires you basically to look within. There's a conflict of some sort, this conflict of interests almost. Look within. The answer sits within you, it's not without you. Now the Child of Crystals, this is the story for this card. This is Huckleberry Finn, who kind of found some treasure. And what was very interesting, and look at the bird here again. We have another bird of prey here showing up. Wisdom, higher vision, being able to see the future. Huckleberry Finn found treasure, and because he was young, I think the treasure was looked after by, almost like put into a trust fund for him, or that's my understanding of that story, so that he would have money for the rest of his life. So it was looked after, because he would have just rushed and spent it all. You know, he was a kid who'd had nothing. So he would have rushed out, spent it all, blown it all, and then probably been back on the streets with not a lot to show for it. But it was kind of like navigated really thoughtfully to assist him in making sure that he had a steady income for the rest of his life. Now I'm seeing some sort of conflict of interests around you, and you actually are being asked to, you know, to press the pause button, get still, stand still, get still, and really look at this. What are your motivations? What are your intentions here? And what are the intentions of any other parties involved? Because something can be managed in a way that it can be beneficial in the longer run. You're being asked to look at how something is managed for the longer term future rather than the immediacy of the future now, hence the stand still. Look at this from a higher perspective. Invest wisely. We have what looks like I think it is a bear hibernating here. Invest wisely. Don't be rushing into something, because the good fortune will come from wise investment. Let's draw more cards. What else are we shown here for pile 2, please? Okay, we have possum and peony. Very interesting. See again, possums know. Possums actually know when to, or how to manage predators, put it that way. And crows see the eagles, the birds of prey, as predators. Possums play dead. Basically, they roll over and they play dead, and they're so still, they're so still that creatures assume, their predators assume they're dead, and they carry on and wander past because they don't want to eat, you know, dead meat. So there's something, again, we're getting this stand still here. Bashfulness as well. That's an interesting card coming through. What else do we have? Let's draw a chakra card. 2 coming through for you. And what is this about, please? May we ask for pile 2? Okay. You have Sacred Vulcan shows the way. You've got birds of prey showing up everywhere. Okay, you need the higher vision. There's something about a predator energy around, or a conflict of interests. You need to dive deep, look within, abundance and destiny. Okay. I feel like there's a very distinctly important pathway for you to take here. And it will be a decision that you're needing to make about something. Now, obviously, it's a general reading. And I can draw some more cards to ask about the something, but being a general reading, it's, you know, getting really precise. Sometimes we get precise information, but sometimes we don't. What I can tell you, showing up so clearly, is that there is actually a very distinct pathway to abundance, to success, to victory. And there's almost like I'd say a danger around you, where there's a conflict of interest, or you... that keeps coming through, the conflict of interest, where maybe you follow a route, or you could follow a route that isn't going to bring you the best, the longer term results. Everything in your reading, your key message, back to that, get still, observe, notice. Think about what people's intentions are around you. You know, what's beneath the surface here? What's underneath the surface? Very interesting. Even in the card of abundance, can you see here we have two people with a drain here, and this man has dropped his coin, and you know, here he is worrying about things, excessively worrying about it. She's just got still, she's got wise, she's got a solution, she's got a magnet, so she's going to be able to get the coin out of the drain. She's going to succeed. Very interesting. We've got a house in the background. Can you see right in the background there a little for sale sign outside of it? If any of you are moving house or buying houses, slow down, don't rush. The right one's coming to you. Look within, look at your motives. If you're joining forces with somebody, look at them. What are their motives? Where is this taking you? What's driving you? What's driving your choices? What's the intent? You need to be looking at the longer term future here. Take your time, get an overview, stand above or stand back from your situation. Get still, stand back. Remember the peony, the opossum and the peony card. Opossum will play dead. So what you see is not exactly what you think it is. You think it's a dead possum, or the predators think it's a dead possum, and it's not. Actually, it's very alive. So something isn't quite what you think it is, so you need to look very carefully at what the underlying motives are and think about the long term. I'm seeing abundance, I'm seeing success, I'm seeing victory, so we're pretty cool here energy wise, but your message is very clear. Get still, observe. Many of you will know exactly what this is already. If you don't, but you've been drawn to the reading, it may be that it will become very clear as the week progresses. We're looking at the next 7 days. Let's get more information. 3 of Wands. Right, so this is a turning point. You've come so far with something. And this is the point. I mean, this is a card of success again. I'm seeing this one too. And 8 of Wands. So you are going to, it is going to move forwards, okay? It is going to move forwards. This is what I'm seeing. And you are going to get the long-term results and the goal. It's just that something is stationary with purpose. There's a destiny, a fate, you know, one of those moments when, you know, there's a divine intervention. So if something gets paused, like real estate, for example, if something gets paused, don't worry about it. It's meant to happen because there's more information to come to you. You need to see more so that you can then kind of look at the contract. I mean, in a way, the Child of Crystals, Huckleberry Finn, you know, a trust fund is like a contract. It's preserving something for the future. So there's something here that has to be adjusted. And then it can fly forwards. Success, you know, moving, happening, moving to the next chapter, the next stage. And the 8 of Wands, I'm moving fast. So I do see the shift in energy coming within the 7 days. But that key message to start with is hold fire. Or if it is at a standstill or up in the air, it's meant to be. Let us just see what else we are shown here. Maybe see where this is going. Okay. I think we'll leave it at that for the moment. We may need more, we may not. Oh, you finish up with the 9 of Cups and the Sun. Well, wowzer. Okay, this is going to get to where you want it to be. Very interesting. 4 of Pentacles came out in reverse. But this is, yeah, what's needed. The reason this circumstance or this situation is on hold or needs to be on hold so you can see something is because you need to create something that's really stable. You need to create something that's robust. That's the word that's coming through, that's robust. Okay? Because then you can relax and love it. Okay? We've got 9 of Wands and we've got 6 of Wands. Beautiful. Beautiful. Beautiful energy. Okay. And you've got Six of Wands twice, of course. Look at this. Success, victory. Six of Wands showing up twice. This is really so important for you, beautiful souls, whatever this situation is, in order to make it really solid and have, like, it's like having a good contract in anything, whether you're doing a job or you're, I don't know, even starting a new relationship where you're really clear about what it is that you actually want, what you're looking for, okay? All of these things, if you get really, really clear about the detail, then you're setting a foundation here with the Four of Pentacles. You're creating a foundation for success. Everything can then emerge and blossom because everybody's really clear about everything. You avoid any challenges here, and then you can have success, you can get victory, you can love it. It's all going to move forwards very quickly. This is all about literally some kind of circumstance where you need to stop, and fate will intervene if you try to rush forward too quickly. In fact, I suspect it's already intervened. For many of you, you'll know what this is. You'll be feeling this isn't moving forwards. It is moving forwards, but you need to see something first and make sure that you are in good alignment with the right underlying intent and the right details of a contract. Then once that's established, it means that there will be no challenges. It will just be what it will be, and you can build upon it and grow upon it, and it will be fabulous. You've got the Sun. I mean, you know, happiness, Nine of Cups, happiness. Also a commitment to something with the Nine of Cups. You can make that commitment because you're really clear. You're on solid ground here because you've looked at the overview, you've crossed the T's, dotted the I's, you're on solid ground. It's like, yay, now I can comfortably relax and let this progress, and I can love every second of it. So it will move forwards. I would see movement even in this week, in the next 7 days. But if the standstill is now and with purpose, pile 2. Your message is so, so clear, beautiful souls. It really, really is. Your key message and the information for the week ahead. Pile 2, loving your energy and loving your reading. You know, it really does look as though it is actually a really, really ultimately very successful week, with key advice about how to handle the bit at the beginning. Beautiful souls, thank you so much for being here. If this reading is resonating with you and singing to you, do like, share, subscribe. These things really, really do help the channel. They really do. So thank you, all of you who are following these readings, and welcome to anyone new. Beautiful souls, have an amazing week. Truly, truly. I just feel this feels like quite a blessing. Even if it's not immediately moving, that is a blessing in disguise, okay? This is definitely the energy. Beautiful souls, loving your week, loving your reading. Tons and tons of love, and I look forward to seeing you for some other readings really, really soon. And yeah, keep us posted on what's happening. I love reading your comments. I mean, you know, this is really feeling like such an amazing community, a family, really, and the way you guys support each other is just lovely. You know, and thank you for your support of me as well. So beautiful souls, tons of love. Pile 3, welcome to your reading. Beautiful souls, this has blown me away. You know, your reading already, you have that owl here and another owl showing up here, and this beautiful blood moon. Wisdom. You have wisdom and Hagalaz. This is a very wise rune. The energy of this rune is all about really sort of waking up to something. It's like Uranus in astrology, the great awakener. This is waking up to something, seeing something, you know, in every possible way, waking up to it, seeing it, and I think deciding what you want to do about it as well. Waking up to something and seeing it. This owl has like a pendulum with Taurus on it. Can you just see that there? I think that's going to show on the camera. Can you see this here in its beak? So I feel like you're waking up to something, you're seeing something, it's guided. I mean, there's no question, it's guiding you in order to make a decision about something, to ultimately take some form of action. There's some sort of shift or some change occurring. So what is it you are needing to see, or what are you waking up to? Let us get information and guidance, a key message for you. That's what we are doing. First of all, a key message coming through for you, pile 3. What is a key message for pile 3 today, please? I'm seeing this, and also actually this one. Okay, so we have, well, okay, look at this. We have 8 of crystals with the sign of infinity in the ice, and a rabbit, a little bunny of fertility. We have the 10 of wands. Oh, how interesting that these cards came out in one of the other readings. I think it was, I can't remember, my apologies. I think one might have come out in one and one in another, actually. But anyway, yeah, if you were drawn to all 3, then they may have some relevance to you. But yes, let's not even go there. Let's focus on your reading. So, yeah, something needs to be brought out into the open. We have an open gate here. And I'm seeing this cave here. Yes, wisdom, foresight and forethought. I keep seeing, you know, you need to be careful when you skate on ice. Thin ice is coming through for me here, actually. Walking on thin ice. Hagalaz, very interesting. Hagalaz is an energy, the Great Awakener Uranus, that says that sometimes something happens that's disrupting, and it wakes you up to a situation, and you just think, wow, you know, it's like you can never see it in the same light again, and you therefore have to take some form of action. Sometimes it's also an indicator of something like a gradual build up, where slowly but surely you have gradually seen something for what it actually is, little by little by little. Where you were kept in the dark, it becomes apparent to you. It's like the gateway opens. Thin ice, what is this about? Let's get more information for you. Maybe you have been skating on thin ice, or something has to be seen, something had to break open. Actually, something has to break open for you to see it clearly, so you can make a choice. Taurus is a very earthy energy, so you can be guided to know which direction you need to take. May I please have more information for my lovely pile 3s? Okay, we have the snail and huckleberry. Trust in the invisible. Okay, how interesting. There's something that you are feeling. Okay, I think you have a gut feeling about something. Beautiful pile 3. You have a gut feeling about it, but it's not yet clear to you. It's not actually visible. You have a gut feeling, but you're questioning your intuition, I think. May we please have more information for pile 3? What is this? What is this thing that they are feeling but not yet quite seeing, or it's not become apparent yet? Prayer and trickery. Okay. This card has a story attached to it, whereby it's kind of like the grass is always greener. Somebody was really planning to up sticks and move away, move from their home in the countryside and move to the big city and get the big break. And something happened and they ended up staying, and they realized that the grass wasn't greener. It was like they were meant to stay. It was their destiny to stay put, really, or to stay where they were. Certainly for you, maybe at this moment in time. I just want to say, whatever this means for you, this is a generic reading, it's a general reading, it's going out to a lot of people. But something isn't greener, the grass isn't greener, something is not quite as it seems. Your gut feeling is actually right. Trust in the invisible. What you can't see is more important than what you can see. It's a bit like when you have a conversation with someone and then you come away and you realise that there's loads of things that you didn't hear, and it was like what wasn't said was far more important than what was being said. Things were being omitted from a conversation. There's something around you. I'm really sorry to hear it, pile 3, but there's something around you where something isn't being completely transparent or open around you. I think we should draw another card first of all, another oracle card. We have information about this, whatever it is that isn't being seen. A blessing to begin. Okay. And then we have Holy Sisters. Right. Okay. Now this card is a little bit bigger. I'm going to put this card at this end here, just so that there's room for us to see everything. I think we can do that. Yes, we can. I think. Yeah, we can see all our cards now. Okay, lovely. Pile 3. I think that you are letting go of something that doesn't feel right. And something new is coming into your world, or there is a new opportunity, a blessing to begin something new. For some of you, I think you literally might have been on thin ice in a situation or in a circumstance or a relationship or a situationship, or almost like walking on eggshells. Something hasn't been right. There's something in your world that hasn't been right. It's not been what it said it was, or it's not like the grass is always greener. It looked amazing, but it kind of didn't turn out to be as amazing as you thought it would be. You may have been drawn into something. Now, I think you have the wisdom and the insight and the knowledge to know this isn't quite right. Even if it hasn't become completely glaringly obvious yet, it's becoming increasingly glaringly obvious that this is not, it's not sustainable. Now you are being guided to connect with people that are much more resonant with you. What these cards are telling me is that new people are coming into your life who are much more aligned with you, with your purpose, with who you are. There are invisible forces at work here to bring you the right people, as opposed to being with the wrong ones. I think you are waking up to a situation or someone or a group of people or something that isn't right. It's a general reading. And I'm sorry that that's happened, but just sometimes for some of you it's not like a radical thing. For some of you it might be really quite radical and quite a big deal. And I'm sorry if this is really challenging. For others it's more a kind of a waking up and realise you've just outgrown them. You can't do this kind of gossip or drama or kind of backstabby kind of trickery, sort of let's pull a fast one over on someone. You just can't do it anymore. You might have tolerated it because it was just, you know, sometimes we sort of accept people for who they are, and if it's the world you've grown up in, it's almost like you don't like it but you kind of live with it, and you're getting to a point where you can't live with it anymore, really. It really is. It's kind of like, I really can't do this. I see the bigger picture. I want a bigger picture. I want more. I want a different life. I don't want to live in the shadowy world of stuff that's not okay. I want more. This is what I'm hearing you saying. Your soul is saying this. And the universe, spirit, source is responding. You have the blessing to begin. You have the blessing to start afresh. You have the blessing to open the door and leave, or to change something, or to do something differently, to hang out with different people, to take those first steps, whatever those first steps are for you. It could be establishing something if you're in a career pathway that you don't like and you're in an environment which just doesn't resonate with you. The first step might be doing an evening class, or it might be starting to write that book you've always intended to write. For some of you, it's going to something and meeting new people. It's doing something. It's taking you out of or away from a situation that no longer resonates with you. And you know it. You can't quite see it, but you can feel it. Something isn't right. And it is, you are being given the blessing here. This is your key message, to take the first steps to move away from this, to do something completely different. May we have more information for my beautiful pile 3. about the next 7 days, please. Actually, may we have information as to the next 7 days? How is this going to pan out? How is this going to emerge? What might pile 3 be seeing in the next 7 days in response to this circumstance or situation? Let's have a look and see what we have. Right. Wow, you've got Knight energy. You've got the Knight of Cups. You've got the Knight of Wands. You have the 5 of Swords, the 3 of Wands. You have the 7 of Wands. You have the Hanged Man, the Hermit. Wow, Justice and 8 of Swords. Right. Okay. So you can do this. Okay, right. The next 7 days. Let's look at the next 7 days. What I'm actually seeing with the Knight of Wands and the Knight of Cups, look at the way they're facing each other. It's almost like a standoff. I think you really face something full on, head on, and the Hangman sitting beneath these 2 cards. I think you face up to something, and it's this point where you know that this is just not tenable anymore. That's what's happening. It may already be happening. You may just be in that gut feeling place, but you face it full on, and you just know that you can't continue with this. It's not working for you. You just know it. It's like you can retreat and contemplate it, but you just know through and through and through this is not right. You can't sustain this, and you know it. I think you reach a turning point this week where you face this situation, circumstance, relationship, situationship full on within yourself. You may not face it full on in a confrontational way. I'm not seeing confrontation as such here. What I'm seeing is you acknowledge absolutely the truth to yourself as to how you feel. Through and through and through. You step up, you see it, you face it. And you can then take action, justice. You can make a decision. I think you reach a point this week where you make a choice about this circumstance. And that's the point when you can move it forwards. This is a really positive 8 of Swords. You know, it's a medicine wheel. The wheel will turn. We have an eagle here. 7 of Wands. It's like you find the courage to do something with this. Even though this feels like a tough call or a tough decision, you make a decision this week to do something about it, actually. It is a tough call. But yeah, you've got the courage to make that choice, to have that say. And that's what I'm seeing, something coming to a head here this week. Yeah. Do you feel you're guided? Prayer as well. You know, prayer will help. Prayer always helps whenever we are in a circumstance or a situation that we know we need to do something about. Let's draw more cards for you and just see what other information we're given. But I feel it comes to a head this week. Can we see what the outcome of this is, please, perhaps? Or at least in the immediacy of taking an action or making a choice, making a decision. What's the outcome? Maybe we'd be given guidance and information. Oh, beautiful. You have the 6 of Cups. Okay. And then you have the 3 of Pentacles. Okay, so you can plan your way through this. Okay. We have the Devil. Okay, we have the Hanged Man again. How interesting, showing up twice. Okay, right. I think you can do this peacefully, like offer a peace offering or negotiate, or kind of just say, look, you know, we need to, can we talk about this? I think there's a way of doing it. You can plan what to do. You can develop a strategy in order to kind of actually just say no to something that's not right for you. You know, the Devil is ultimately a card of liberation. Take your time. I think this isn't a week when you take action, but it is a week when you reach a conclusion and you make a choice within yourself, so you know what you're going to do. And then having made that choice, you can now take your time to plan how you're actually going to execute your decision, as it were, whatever that may be. Yeah, we have 5 of Cups. We have the card of... How interesting. Okay. We have the card of the Lovers, which is also a card of choice. Yeah, I think you're going to potentially make a choice to walk away from something here. If any of you are in, you know, I said relationship, situationship, I do think you do make a choice about walking away, really. Cutting those cords. I'm not saying it's this week. I think you get to plan it this week, to really think it through. This is the week when you come to that conclusion that whatever it is isn't working, and you can't remain. And then, having made decisions and choices, we have the Knight of Wands. You can move it forwards. Actually, we have one more card showing itself here. Here we go. We have the, we also have, this is very, very interesting. We have the 8 of Pentacles too. Now, if your circumstance is not something you're going to be walking away, some of you may be walking away and taking action. If it's a circumstance where you're no longer prepared to tolerate something, and you find a way of voicing this, then I think even if you're working at it, you'll be able to, it's like your boundaries are clear. For many of you, I do see you walking away. I do see you leaving something behind. But you're navigating this because you've thought it through. You've made that choice. You're working out how to do it. And basically, you are going to be able to work your way through this. Whether you are working your way through a situation for the better, ultimately, or whether you're working your way out of a situation for the better. One way we're working through it or out of it, one way or the other, it can be worked through easily. And you know, this is not going to be too difficult for you, I don't think. I think it'll be a lot more navigable than you realise, I think, is the answer to what I'm thinking or what I'm saying here. But yes, the card of the Lovers. It's choice. Yeah, so this is what I'm seeing in the next 7 days and the key messages for you, beautiful souls. I'm sorry it hasn't worked out. It could just be something, a circumstance that you've just grown up with, or it's been around you for a long time, or it was a coat that you wore and you've outgrown it. You know, for others it might feel a little bit, you know, bigger and deeper than that. And for some of you it just isn't. Do you know what? This just does not sing to me anymore. It's got that flavour. But this is, I feel, the week when you really acknowledge that. And key messages coming through and information for the coming week. Once you've made your choice and your decision, take your time and plan. You'll be able to work out what to do, how to cut the cords, how best to do it. And execute it. When you do execute it, whatever that is, I think it's going to work really quite smoothly, actually, to be quite honest with you. You'll be able to achieve, you know, the outcome you desire. Pile 3, this is your reading. Beautiful souls, thank you so much for liking, sharing, subscribing and being a part of the Moon Magic family. It does feel like a family here. We are building such a wonderful community. You guys are so amazing. So thank you for being here. I am sending you so much love, and yeah, do check in on other readings through the week if you wish to. And also I have a timeless readings playlist. I must organise my playlist at some point, actually, but there are loads of readings in there. Lots of them are for immediate guidance, but there's also readings that are very specific about navigating certain situations, like, you know, how will this pan out, or is this person trustworthy, or what's the outcome of this. So do check out those readings if they feel as though they might be helpful to you while you're navigating this. Beautiful souls, tons and tons of love to you.